Howdy folks, Scanner here. Today's video we're going to take a look at every Trench Crusade miniature that has been teased or shown to date. Some of these are renders, some of these are actual prints, some of these are sidecast, some of these are 3D prints. There's a huge variety. Some are painted, unpainted, all the rest of it. These are not marketing materials or anything like that. It's just stuff that Tuomas, the head developer, popped into the Discord earlier, kind of showing everything that they had done. I thought people, not everybody's in the Discord. There seems to be a lot of people hanging around this channel that are not in the Discord, for example. Maybe you'd like to see him. So let's dive in. Alrighty, so up first, just your basic Trench Pilgrim. I believe this is not the final pose for this guy. I think that's pretty clear from the way he's standing, but you can get some good visuals of the front. So comparing him to the one I got in the Kickstarter, it looks like a variant in lots of small ways, just the way the knees are tied and the stuff on the chest and things of that nature. So definitely seems to have been worked a little bit. Ecclesiastic prisoner. These are the dudes who committed some kind of crimes and get sent off to explode themselves in the name of Jesus, I guess. So yeah, really dope looking miniature. I actually really like it. I love the oversized ridiculous bomb on the back. That really sells it for me. I like the stance, that kind of head down, hands down, you know you're dead stance. Let's just get this shit over with. This guy's a cleric. He's a new Antioch cleric. He's got a cool shoulder guard. This is the back, obviously a big old cross to be carrying around with a sword strapped to it, which is really just, that goes pretty hard. And the detail is really nice. We were talking in the Discord, they were saying that they're trying to not have too much detail, like too much extra pointless detail on the miniatures. They don't want to flood them necessarily with details. The front just looks amazing. I'm not like the best painter in the world, but I don't see anything on this guy that would intimidate me to paint. I think he just looks really fantastic. Just that little bit of chunkiness in the miniature goes a long way for me. I love the open book in one hand and the gun in the other. Really kind of, have your faith in the Lord, but faith in a 45 doesn't hurt. A castigator. These guys exist to lamp the shit out of anybody who's not believing hard enough, and they'll make you believe. Gas mask on, looks really cool. The combo of the big hat and the gas mask and the stylized crosses and the very holy religious imagery, the shield, everything about this one just works for me. I think it's a really good miniature, one of my favorites by a distance. The Shrine Anchorite, the back of the Shrine Anchorite, I should say, this miniature is metal as fuck. No two ways about it. Everything about this one is pretty baller. The armor is so thick and chunky, the huge engine on the back to power the whole thing. The Cateran wheel is amazing. We're going to see side and front for this one as well, and just the lore of these things is kind of, loopy. There's like somebody inside that thing basically being chewed up by it whilst fighting, which is kind of interesting. The lamb on the front is a carryover straight from the lore, but it does denote a very particular group of trench pilgrims that do that. They slaughter lambs before battle, I guess. So pretty funky. And then just a kind of more upfront one here. The detailing on it is incredible. This, I think, is one of the most interesting miniatures I've seen in some time, and it's inhabiting a really interesting space where home sculpting really started to take off and do exactly this kind of miniature that you feel like the bigger kind of companies and games don't want to do, because it might be a little kind of, divisive, I guess. A hugely chunky guy. This is the lieutenant, the new Antioch lieutenant. I don't know why I put these all in so that they start at the back first, but hey, it's a bit of suspense, right? Shield looks great. I think really I love the stylized crosses that are going on a lot of the new Antioch stuff and a lot of the Trench Pilgrim stuff. Instead of just having tired, boring crosses, there's kind of reworks in with Fleur de Lis and things of that nature. It's really nice. From the front, the dude looks pretty solid. Love the stance, very commanding, very interesting. There's something up with the face that I'm not entirely sure of. I struggle with faces anyway for the most part on miniatures, so a helmet down version would really appeal to me, I think. And yeah, that's it from the side. So you can imagine how badass that would look with the helmet down and maybe the shield being held, at the top and the bottom of the shield just like resting on the ground or something like that as an alternate pose would be pretty cool. It's highly unlikely to happen given, small group of folks trying to make a game here. I doubt we're going to have a huge amount of variant poses, so I might need to do some kit bashing here. Here's another shot of a printed ecclesiastic prisoner. A lot of this stuff is 3D printed, obviously, because that's what they're doing. They're prototyping in. My understanding is it's going to be more Cyocast for the full whack Kickstarter. So you're going to see some lines and stuff from the 3D printing. Don't fret about it, layer lines. I don't think that's going to be an issue in the finished thing. This guy's super interesting to me because I can't place him. I looked through all the pictures and all the rest of it. His helmet looks kind of sultanate and his armor looks very ornate, so I'm kind of assuming he's going to fall into the Iron Sultanate one way or another. It would be pretty kind of bog standardy armor were a little chunkier, and without that helmet, without that kind of fan effect on the helmet, for some reason it makes me think Sultanate, and I don't know why. The priest, the blind priest, or whatever it is they're called. Well, they're supposed to be blind. The sniper priest. This guy, he's supposed to be blind, but he doesn't have his eyes covered, which was the case in the concept art. And there's another miniature coming in a bit, which is kind of interesting that I want you to have a look at. But as far as I know, this is in fact a sniper priest. Now we're getting into the chonky boys, the new Antioch heavy mechanized infantry. What a monster. Superb miniature. The weapon is just amazing. There's a couple of these in the mix here armed with melee weaponry, but I don't think you can outdo that gun. In the rules, when we're playing right now, there's definitely a be chunky with a melee weapon and run across the battlefield meta happening in this house, but that gun. Heretic chorister. We've done some lore about these guys and people seem to really like them. Once again, really kind of fun miniature, leans into that, just the ridiculous horror of the whole thing. A lad singing his own head, or holding his own head while he's singing hell hymns, and blood makes weird sigils out of the top of him. I think it's pretty cool. As a miniature, it's definitely going to be a fun one to paint up. These are the Hounds of the Black Grail, I think they're called. They're basically puss dogs. From what I can see, they're big fly dogs basically that go around and jab you with their little spines that hang off their head and try to infect you with all kinds of nastiness and stuff like that. So a fun miniature, pretty gross. I'm really looking forward to seeing more Black Grail stuff because that shit's nasty. I want to see how they convert it over into miniatures. This is a war wolf, a heretic war wolf, and I think this is top 3 for me because it looks nasty. Wait, it'll spin around to the front. I honestly don't know why I queued all these up so that the back would show first, but hey, as I said, a little bit of suspense. These guys are just super cool. They look incredibly scary. It's kind of a stupid thing to say in a game like Trench Crusade, where were any of this stuff in front of you in real life, it would be scary. But this thing, I don't even know if you'd bother trying, or would you just let it get you? Would you be like, all right, look, this is GG. I'm just going to stand here and just get 8. I don't think I'd bother putting up much of a fight. I'd just try and throw my head in the mouth and get that shit over with as quickly as possible. Love that miniature. Really can't wait to paint it. Now, this is the guy that's confusing me because his eyes are covered too. And he's subtly different to the other one. But he's definitely a sniper priest, right? Like, he really looks like a sniper priest. But that ain't no sniper rifle that he's holding. But don't let that fool you. Like, he'll still whack you up from across the street. No problemo. So, yeah, just kind of fun variants on it. That's why I'm kind of interested to see what kind of variant models they have going in the campaign. This dude, Sin Eater, will eat your sin while smashing you up with a massive club slash hammer slash tenderizer type device. He basically just he's an abhorrent scumbag who is out to absolutely wail on you. Really fun miniature, vaguely reminiscent of Dung Eater from Elden Ring, but Dung Eater is vaguely reminiscent from 1,000 other things. So what can you do? More mechanized heavy from New Antioch. As I said, these guys are dope. I would not blame anybody who wanted to have just these models in their New Antioch force because they are so cool. They really are. They look the right kind of chunky. They look the right kind of heroic. I think which you want for New Antioch and the Sultanate. You want those sculpts to be, quite heroic. This is just a standard heretic trooper. There's some fun little details here on this sculpt. I really love the kind of freaky knife that's going on. The club grenade style, the helmet, it's all just very, very fun and, iconic-ish in a way. And you associate a lot of that stuff with the bad guys, let's be honest. And then more New Antioch heavy mechanized, this one with a shield and a big old hammer. Super fun once again. Sculpt all around. I'm so eager to paint one of these guys. I can barely contain myself. I'm going to have a huge amount of fun, and I like the idea of huge volumes of them on my shelves. A Witchburner General. These guys were in the OG Kickstarter. Superb miniature. I think just a lot of style to this guy. Definitely dripped out. I love the judge's wig that he is clearly wearing underneath the capriot, and I just like the stance, like striding forward across the battlefield. It's great. Heretics, heavy heretic unit whose name I just cannot remember off the top of my head. Armed with obviously a flamethrower, and the flamethrower looks incredible. Once again, whoever's thinking about the weapons and designing the weapons, I think is doing an amazing job, even outside of the standard miniatures themselves. The weapons all really speak to me in interesting ways, and those guys look terrifying. The Observer, this Observer was painted, I want to say, by Grimdark Compendium. I know he's doing a lot of they're doing, I feel like it's a group of people, are doing a lot of painting for this officially, with that whole reductive oils technique that they're so very fond of. Dope looking miniature, dope looking paint job. What else is there to say? Up next is the OG Trench Pilgrim from the original Kickstarter. Once again, Grimdark Compendium paint job. I think it's Grimdark Compendium. Now, I might be wrong about that. If I'm wrong, don't judge me. I can't know everything. At the end of the day, it's not possible to know everything. I have a job. My job is not looking at the Trench Crusade Discord and socials, even though I spend an inordinate and potentially inappropriate amount of time doing that at this point. But yeah, dope miniature. Combat Medic from the original Kickstarter. Weirdly enough, one of my favorite miniatures from the original Kickstarter. It's just real fun in a way that I find it very hard to explain. I like the subversion, the idea of the armor and everything, because you know you're going to be fighting as much as you're going to be healing. And as somebody in the comments said, the healing is not as much fun as the hurting. And then the anti-tank communicant and the ammo monk. So they're from the original Kickstarter as well, obviously. But overall, you can see how the range is starting to come together. I'm incredibly interested to see more Sultanate models. I feel like we haven't seen Sultanate very much compared to all the others, and that's a shame because their art is just incredible. And I really want to see it. And then just a close in of the ammo monk. And I really just want to see more Sultanate stuff. So let us get a nice Lion of Jabir model or something like that out into the open and see what's going on. Tuomas has said in the Discord that this is like kind of tip of the iceberg vibes. It's making me wonder what the initial Kickstarter costing is going to be, because I don't want to predict like too early, but the chances of me going all in on this thing, like at whatever the highest to get all the miniatures, is pretty high, because that's what I tend to do anyway when I'm interested in something, is I just want to get it all at that time and then kind of dive straight in there. So I'm curious as to how much kind of money I'm going to be spending on this dealio by the time it's all done, because this was 31 different images. Now, it wasn't 31 different models, it was maybe 25 models, but actually maybe less. So that's not even close to everything kind of from the rules and everything like that. So I'm really curious to see what the overall Kickstarter cost is going to be. How much will this actually cost to get everything that they're going to make onto my table? I just want to know. So yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure you join the Discord if you're not in there. It's nice, it's fun in there. We just focus on the game, talk about the game. That's it. So come and join us. Thank you for watching.